Kiwis love being outdoors, so why not transform your outdoor living space with a sun view? With our quality range of stylish pergolas, outdoor blinds and awnings, having a sun view is like adding a new room to your home, but for a fraction of the price. Enjoy the outdoors all year round with a range of products to suit your needs. Book a free consultation now with SunView and see the difference.
We're now going to return to talk again to someone who has appeared on the program previously. I think a very brave person. And I heard some comment, because the story's sort of slightly out and about over the weekend. Now, guest got $500,000 from an employment relations case. I think it's some sort of record from the Bank of New Zealand. And a couple of people said, geez, that's a big settlement for that person. And I sat there and I crunched it and I thought about it. And I thought, yeah, at first blush, you'd think that person's hit the jackpot. It's like winning lotto. But I think often with cases like this and stories like this, we don't actually account for what's truly gone on. And for that reason, I really wanted to have another chat with Melissa Bowen, former employee of the BNZ. I wanted to talk to her again, and she's agreed to talk to us this morning. Melissa, lovely to see you. Welcome again.
Good morning, Sean.
Firstly, congratulations. That is a win. But it's not like you get $500,000 extra and that's all Jake. You got that money because you'd been done a wrong. And I want to remind people, when did your problems with your employer start? 2016?
Yes, that's correct.
9 years ago. That is a hell of a long time. Up until this judgment over 9 years, had you got any satisfaction or any money out of the Bank of New Zealand?
No.
No? So
no,
zip for
nothing.
9 years. Okay.
No.
And you were earning over $100,000 a year from the Bank of New Zealand. So over 9 years, if you kept working for them, even at $100,000 a year, you would have got $900,000.
Yes.
So if we look at your life had rolled on without this dispute, you actually would have done a hell of a lot better than where you find yourself now.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what I want to kind of remind people of, the reality of this.
Thank you.
Now, we're in a slightly difficult position. The matters which you undoubtedly blew the whistle on at the Bank of New Zealand are still the subject of litigation between other parties in the New Zealand courts. So we are limited somewhat in the details of the case. But fair enough to say, as we represented it some time ago when we talked to you, you saw something dodgy happening in your bank, and you went a couple of levels above your manager and said, there's something dodgy going on. You blew the whistle. And rather than say, thanks for the heads up, that's really bad what's going on, they told your boss, he came after you, and I think it would be fair to say, would it not, Melissa, they blackened your name across the whole banking industry. They made you unemployable, basically, didn't they?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
And that had a massive impact on you, didn't it?
It did. It did. They also exposed my identity to publicly named and shamed me through an ERA determination, which was published, and they sacked me.
Yeah. And they sacked you and you tried to get other work and you couldn't because they'd put it about that you were trouble, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And because of the determination publishing my name, as you know, if you go for employment, people will Google you. And the first thing that came up in Google was, and so I was stigmatized as a whistleblower.
Because did you take a case against them which you lost initially?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you
Because
had to go a second round.
We knew they were going to, they'd broken their promises during the investigation.
Mm.
And so we took a case of breach of commitments to the authority.
Yeah.
Because they were already breaking their promises to protect us.
Right. So you had to go back. Gosh, that must have been a decision because you must have been feeling so battered, having been lied to, lost your job, couldn't get another job. You go to the authority, they don't uphold your thing, presumably because the BNZ lied through their teeth. My honestly held opinion, based on the facts available to me. But you decide to keep going. What was it as a person that led to you making that choice? I'll be honest, Melissa, I think an awful lot of people I know would simply say, I lost that one. Best thing I can do is run off and try and make a new life somewhere else.
Sean, it wasn't ever a choice
Yeah.
for me. So the wrong that I witnessed wasn't something that impacted me. It impacted people's businesses, people's livelihoods, people's jobs. It was deeply concerning that that I witnessed this and saw this going on, and I wanted it investigated. And so the beginning of every conversation, every negotiation was always a proper investigation, an independent, objective investigation into these matters needs to be undertaken. That was my, one criteria. And that's why I pressed on because this is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the $500,000 you've been granted, $100,000 of that is for distress and humiliation, right? And for the effects it's had on you as a person. What are those effects, Melissa? And I'm not wanting you to bare your soul to me. I just want to tell me that what's the real world effect of going through something like this for nearly 10 years?
Well, I've already bared my soul through the process of the hearing and determination, and the impact was I developed PTSD and comorbid major depressive disorder. I had suicidal ideations. I was completely in despair, completely hopeless, I was gaslighted, and the psychological harm is and the immense stress, constant, chronic, unresolved stress, has an immense impact on your belief in yourself, your health and well-being, how you relate to yourself, to others, to the world. It's all-encompassing.
So you're still dealing with that, right? You're still under treatment for all of that and coping with that.
Yes, I am. I'm making huge progress. I refuse to be a victim and to label myself with these conditions, and I'm determined to fully recover and tell the story about what really happened.
Bloody good on you. And as I said, so this is quite different. As I said, a number of people said $500,000, that's a whole lot of money. Does it come anywhere near to the loss you have suffered? Let's just start with the monetary loss in terms of how your life would have worked out without this problem. Does it in any way compensate for that?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
I literally lost everything, Sean. I lost my entire career. My legal costs are more than twice that. I lost everything. My home, even my car. The last thing I had was my car. Yeah. And the bank applied for a costs order. They said I was a vexatious litigant.
Oh, so they wanted you to put a bond basically up first before they'd take your case.
Yes. And I had to pay it within 7 days. And the only thing I had left to sell was my car. And so I sold my car to pay the bond so the case could be heard.
What are your chances of cost recovery?
Well, we are proceeding to look at avenues to recover costs.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we've got a campaign on Give a Little to contribute to my legal costs. And that is absolutely 100% devoted to paying my lawyer, who never abandoned me in this process and continued to advocate and fight this case on my behalf because he believed in the good cause.
And the name of that Give a Little page, folks, grab a pen, is She Spoke the Truth. Now she pays the price. She spoke the truth. Now she pays the price. We seldom do this on the platform, but I'm quite happy to give that Give a Little page a bit of a shove.
Thank you.
So I guess there is a feeling, and don't want to speak for you. I just want to explore the idea. There's a feeling of a victory for the $500,000, but
Yes.
it doesn't. And
Yes.
you must feel like, bloody hell, I won one.
Kiwis love being outdoors, so why not transform your outdoor living space with a sun view? With our quality range of stylish pergolas, outdoor blinds and awnings, having a sun view is like adding a new room to your home, but for a fraction of the price. Enjoy the outdoors all year round with a range of products to suit your needs. Book a free consultation now with Sunview and see the difference.